USDA August Crop Report Day is here. This is Hoosier Ag Today. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Podcast on the 12th of August, 2021. I'm Andy Eubank. We have a preview of the crop report with David Coley from Allendale, along with a look at yesterday's mixed market activity. Also coming up in the news today, broker and market analyst John Zanker took a crop tour, 1,300 miles plus. We'll get his feedback on this part of the country's crops. And Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin says more rain in the forecast, and it should be making its way south. The news begins now on HAT. One man's crop tour, and what's Washington doing for rural broadband? I'm Andy Eubank reporting on Indiana agriculture. Last week, for the 40th time in his career, commodity broker and market analyst John Zanker of Lafayette, Indiana, and Risk Management Commodities hit the road for his own version of the August crop tour. Over 1,300 miles later, he describes crops across the Corn Belt as promising overall, with the usual assortment of great spots and problem areas. After the 7-state tour, Zanker concluded he saw mostly what he expected to see.
I think for the most part, I saw what I expected. Some really outstanding potential in Indiana, Illinois, most of Iowa. Probably the one area that was worse than I had expected was southern Minnesota, western Minnesota. Some real poor potential there. So that crop, which is a major producing state, I think that could be something that pulls this national yield down a little bit more than current expectations.
He told HAT there were some better than expected crops when he moved into North Dakota, but it turned poorer once he got past the 160-mile mark. Crops down into eastern Nebraska and western Iowa looked good. Overall, the Zanker assessment of the August 12th crop report production estimates is that they are probably accurate.
I didn't see anything at this point that would really send up some flares as to say, hey, this crop's going to be a lot better than I thought or a lot less than I thought. And I think pretty much the average trade estimates going into this crop report, again, I didn't see anything that would lead me to deviate much from that at this point.
Zanker said discussions about which crop, corn or soybeans, has the better upside have revealed a clear winner.
In general, the corn crop from Indiana through Iowa looks to have better potential.
Go to HoosierAgToday.com to hear my full conversation with John Zanker.
The Indiana State Fair is back, and so is American Dairy Association Indiana's famous and fabulous State Fair Dairy Bar. From July 30th through August 22nd, celebrate the return of the Dairy Bar with this year's featured treats, the Buttermilk Waffle Witch, our fantastic chocolate cherry funk hand-dipped ice cream, and the chocolate salted caramel milkshake. The Dairy Bar, July 30th through August 22nd. See you there.
Brought to you by American Dairy Association Indiana, your Hoosier Dairy Farm family.
By a significant margin, the Senate passed the bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act earlier this week. What does it do for rural broadband? Ashley Davenport has some details.
High-speed internet will make up $65 billion of the $1 trillion package. Shirley Bloomfield, CEO of the Rural Broadband Association, says roughly 2/3 of that budget will go to deployment.
That is deployment for those who are unserved, completely unserved, which means that an area has to have 80% of 25/3 speeds or less. And then it will tier up to underserved. So those communities that where 80% don't have access to 100/20.
She says every state will be guaranteed a baseline $100 million grant and NATO Communication Information Agency support. Secretary of Agriculture Tom Vilsack says the importance of getting this bill to President Biden's desk can't be underscored.
We're excited about the role that USDA has played under the Reconnect program and will continue to play to upgrade and ultimately to expand access to this important and vital technology for competitiveness and economic opportunity in the future.
I'm Ashley Davenport, Hoosier Ag Today.
We have more at HoosierAgToday.com. I'm Andy Eubank, Hoosier Ag Today, timely, relevant, credible.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin with Hoosier Ag Today's Indiana Farm Forecast, brought to you by Seed Genetics Direct, the largest Ohio-based independent seed company and the Eastern Corn Belt's fastest-growing independent seed company. Visit seedgeneticsdirect.com for more information. Moving through your Thursday, we have rain in the forecast again, just like we've seen the past few days. I can tell you it looks like the focal point for stronger activity, or even most activity, is shifting farther south. I can't tell you how many times over the past few days I've heard, well, hey, the northern guys are getting this, but we've gotten squat. Hey, take your time. It's moving southward today. Central Indiana, I think, better chances than north. Tomorrow, central, southern Indiana in line to pick up moisture. We are going to be seeing some rip-roaring showers and storms in here. Thunderstorms yesterday were quite impressive as we move through the afternoon hours, midday and afternoon hours in northern Indiana. So hopefully we don't see damage like we saw up north from those storms through today, tomorrow, and even early Saturday morning down south. But it is possible with all of the heat building. I think we have to leave totals sit like this. Look, if you try and blanket it like I've done the past few days, you get woefully inadequate with some of these storms. I will put it to you this way. Any thunderstorm that comes together can easily put down 1 to 2 inches. We've seen that historically here the past couple of days. Why not again today and tomorrow? It's the same kind of air mass, the same kind of front. If you don't get thunderstorms, you see these numbers fall off really quick. A few hundredths to a few tenths is all we're seeing without thunderstorms. So I think that's the way we got to play it here as we go through today and tomorrow. Now, Saturday morning, again, early on, we do see some lingering showers down over southern Indiana. Those go away quickly. Saturday turns out partly to mostly sunny everywhere. And then we are sunny and dry and warm Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week. Wednesday's a wild card. I'm keeping or putting moisture in now for the daytime hours. We had been hedging our bets toward more Wednesday evening, but I'm going to say allowing showers and thunderstorms has to be something to watch through the entire area as we move through your Wednesday. I think we're looking at 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch there. Thursday, Friday, I think we squeak by drier, but late Friday night, Saturday, there's a frontal boundary that comes in from the west that should put us down a little bit of moisture for the 21st. That's a Saturday, and for Sunday, the 22nd. That's the way things are stacking up right now. Buckle up. These strong storms are going to be a wild ride still the next couple of days. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.
Mixed markets the day before the crop report. This is Hoosier Ag Today's Wednesday Farm Market Review. I'm Andy Eubank, and the review is brought to you by Co-Alliance Cooperative, your local agriculture and energy partner for nearly a century. We have numbers coming up for you with a higher corn market and mixed in soybeans. First, market analysis, and I checked in right at the end of trade for that with David Coley, Allendale-Inc.com. David, we had a strong overnight market for soybeans. You'll address why that happened, and the bean market did finish quiet and mixed, but a little bit of a bump up in corn and flat in wheat as we get set for the August crop report. Let's start with beans. A little bit of difference in trade from the overnight to the daytime.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there was reason in the overnight to really pump it up because Malaysia's palm oil market went up a total of 7.3%. I mean, how could you go up that much in one day? But it did, making a new all-time high. And from the report from Malaysia said that their palm oil stocks were down much more than expected. So that put the beans up early. But then, that weather forecast, it came out at noon. There's more rain in the forecast now for the near term for both the plains and for the Western Corn Belt. And they're saying that won't help the corn, but it'll help heal the beans, which we all know will do. So that got the market all buzzing and got the beans to sell off a little bit. Now, this USDA report, this is our first actual corn and soybean production number. There's not a computer model based number. So there's no field samples. We won't get those till September, but this will be survey based and satellite based. So it'll give us about the best idea of what we got. And what do we think we have? We do know that the production estimates for corn are 15.004 billion bushels, a yield of 177.6. That's a drop of almost 2 bushels from July. On the beans, the production they're looking there is 4.375. The production number they looked for the computer models was posting it all the way down to 4.405 with a 50.8 yield. So not much of a drop in the bean production numbers, which I think the market's pretty much banking on at this point. But the export market continues to be full of all sorts of announcements. China, again, buying 132,000 tons of beans. It's the 5th day in a row, and the total so far ascribed to China is 929,000 metric tons of beans sold, but that doesn't count the unknown numbers that we're seeing. And good news today for the corn. The ethanol report did show production did drop slightly to 96 million bushels, but the stocks dropped. They dropped 373,000, and it's down to 22.276. So, yeah, we didn't make as much, but we lost a lot more, definitely so. Cash cattle trade out west, I'm disappointed with the beef market going berserk. I was hoping the cash cattle trade would be a little bit better. It's down to 121 to 122. Most of the trades were at 121, but I saw something over the weekend that really astonished me. If you looked at the beef price, what's the break even for the the packers right now? It's $1.69. They could pay all the way up to that and not lose any money. So come on, packers, you got to pay more for cattle, definitely so.
As we look once again at the Thursday crop report, noon Eastern time, David, we all want to see those U.S. production numbers. But let's look beyond that, correct? Brazil, for example?
Yeah, and all kind of numbers coming out for that corn crop. You remember that Safrinha, that second crop of corn, is 70 to 75% of all their corn exports. And Brazil's saying yes, because we had CONAB saying it's down to 86 and change. But everybody's saying now that it's actually down to 81 to 82, 83 million bushels or metric tons. So, going forward, I think that's going to be the real kicking point here on the grains. We're going to see excellent yields here, especially in the Eastern Corn Belt. But I think when we focus our attention and see what the demand is like, because I saw it was really interesting. South Korea was bidding to buy corn this morning, and I did see that Thailand was buying feed wheat. Just wait and see. It's not just China's buying this stuff. We're going to be seeing a lot more demand from all over the world for feed grain wheat and for corn and soybeans also, I feel.
David Coley with Allendale-Inc.com. Call 1-800-2-MARKET. Settlements now from Wednesday, up over a nickel in the corn market. September 556 1/4, up 7, up 6 on December and March. Dece 559 1/4, March 567. And quiet in beans. September ends down a penny and a quarter at 1347. Novi 3 1/4 higher, 1340 even. Jan beans 1344 1/2, up 3 cents. Unchanged on September wheat, 727. December 739 1/4, down a quarter. Mixed in livestock, October live cattle 55 lower, 127.57, and strong in the hog market. October lean hogs 85.85, up $1.97. That is the Wednesday review. I'm Andy Eubank. This is Who's Your Ag Today, Indiana's leading farm network.